My name is Asa Morton, and tonight we are having a get-together for our group involved with a humanitarian surgical mission in Guatemala. We have a group of high school students, young surgical ophthalmology residents, nurses, and ancillary folk that help us to make a difference both here and in Guatemala. We've just returned from a 12-day mission during which time we investigated and managed 2,500 patients. We performed 300 surgical procedures in a very remote area, 8,000 feet in the highlands of Guatemala. And it's a pleasure to work with these people, but more importantly, it's a pleasure to see how we change our own life back here in San Diego as they return and view the world through new glasses.
Hi, my name is Austin Ashcraft, and I'm just a recent grad of St. Augustine High School. I went down to Guatemala with the Morton I team. We're here at our little gathering right now, a post-operation gathering, I guess you can call it. I learned a lot on this trip. It had a profound impact on my life. I've gone from, beautiful America where everything's all nice and pretty and, rich and stuff to, Guatemala where things aren't as pretty and nice. And when you go down there, you see a lot of the reality of the world, that's not really seen here in America. You're kind of blind to it because you don't, see it every day. But when you're down there, I realized a lot of things, that people aren't as, I guess you could say, fortunate as us. But at the same time, I think everyone suffers here. They seem down there to have this beautiful bond of, companionship and friendship, and just people down there they're so, welcoming to us and so kind and so it's hard to explain, but yeah, they're great people down there, and it's definitely a interesting contrast between America and Guatemala. And I think that going on this trip, it's helped me become, give my life some sort of direction to what I want to do and what I want to affect in my life. And, it's been eye-opening experience. One more thing I wanted to add to my previous little spiel was that when I was down there, I felt that our lives had some sort of purpose, some sort of reason. Instead of just, sitting around and kind of going through the motions, we were actually doing something. We were making a difference, and that was something that, like I said earlier, was something that gave me a feel of where I want to take my life. And we're all human beings, I think that through service, a lot of things can be accomplished and learned about yourself, about, your fellow people that came along on the trip, and also, complete strangers like the Guatemalans down there. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Schrantz, and I was a student volunteer on the HELPS trip to Guatemala. The entire trip was really an eye-opening experience for me. A lot of it was just stuff you can't really see in the United States. Everyone there was living a more humbling life. They were less fortunate than some of us here in the United States are. And that it's really something you don't get to see every day and you never think of going about in your daily life. But there's other people out there and they really need help. And just going there and walking in and every day seeing somebody that couldn't see the day before, walking out with sight, it's just the most incredible experience that really can't be put into words. And what was interesting about this trip was just how nice everyone was. Most of these people couldn't get out to see a doctor, except for this every year when HELPS came to their little town. And you could see that just in all of their faces, just how wonderful we were to them, and just how absolutely thankful they were. And everyone was just so nice and kind to us. And it was something that you didn't really expect going down there. Just going down, I didn't really know what was going to go on, how people were going to react to a bunch of Americans going into their country. But it turns out that all of them were super gracious and were really, I'm really proud of what we got to accomplish down there.
Hi, my name is Matt Dorman. I went with HELPS International out to Guatemala on a service trip and medical mission where we set up an eye clinic and a general clinic, but the team from San Diego just set up an eye clinic, and I'm one of 4 students from St. Augustine High School that got picked to help out with this mission. And when I came down there, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of saw a video, got a general idea of what it might have been, but I wasn't really sure what was going to go on. But then I got down there and I saw how poor these people were and how they were living. And I come from a place where I get everything I want, and I kind of live in an area where anything I want, it's mine, and I have everything to use at my disposal. And then I went down here and these people don't have very much. So it really changed my perspective on how some people live in this world and how poor some areas really still are, even though we live in such a technological world with all these different kinds of technology that we can use. But I came down there and I saw how these people had nothing, but I saw that they had faith, and that they took their faith very seriously, more seriously than I do. And I grew up and was raised Catholic, so, but their faith is something to model myself after, because they were so into their faith, even though they really didn't. I didn't feel like they had really any reason to, because they were just so poor and living in this area. But it really changed my perspective, and I really realized how lucky I am when I went down there. And I had just such an awesome time helping people, because there's such a rewarding feeling from helping people. Because I mean, you can do it here, but it's a lot different when you go to a different country and you get on some kind of mission like this where you're gone for that long and you're helping that many people. And we had like 200 something surgeries that we went through, just the doctors, and then we screened probably close to a couple thousand patients at least. And so it was just great to help people like that. And when I'm a senior in high school and I just graduated, so when I get out of college, I'm going to look forward to possibly doing this trip again. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Matt Kiernan, and I just got back recently from the Helps Medical Mission in Guatemala. And to begin, I'd just like to say thank you to Dr. Morton and all the rest of the team for allowing this such an opportunity. It has been a real blessing in my life coming back. And looking back on it, there's a lot of things that stand out. Most definitely the poverty level there, and how going into it, I hadn't really had any experience of anything like this. It was actually my first time taking an international flight going out of the country, somewhere besides a quick trip to Mexico or two. And it was really an eye-opening experience being able to see the drastic changes that exist between the two countries. Even though we're all humans, we're all in the same boat, but somehow there's such a drastic change. And one experience that I can remember very clearly is when I was working as a translator with some of the doctors, and we had most of the people that we were seeing that day came in complaining of headaches, and after checking them out, the only thing that they needed was a simple Tylenol pill, which is just something we really take for granted here. But those people have been suffering from the headaches for, some would say, 10 years. And I get really frustrated with the headache after about 10 minutes or so. So it's really just a big different change. And the people there were just heartwarming to see how much they came up to you and trusted you immediately to take care of them, even though that they weren't really sure where you came from or what you were, but they knew that you were there to help them. And that was so just heartwarming to see. And they would come there and put on their best outfits, which isn't much to our standards, but it meant a lot being able to see that they were really just there and so appreciative of everything that you would do, especially on the last day after we were coming back and seeing all the post-op patients as they were walking out. And after giving them their final instructions, they would come back, and a lot of them were crying. They were giving us a hug, and it's just amazing to see when you put on a simple pair of glasses or come out of a surgery and they now have sight, something that they were lacking beforehand, which is so crucial to the development of our life and the lives in general. And being able to see was such an important part of everything that we can do, and just kind of take a second and reflect on everything we're able to do with sight. And I think that it was a very great blessing in my life to be able to travel down with Dr. Morton and be a part of this eye team specifically. But it's just a wonderful work that we were able to do down there, and a special blessing to come back to Saints, where I just graduated from, be able to share that experience. And I just want to wish Dr. Morton and everyone the best of luck as they continue this trip, and hopefully I'll be able to join it again sometime in the near future.